Is this thing on?
It's about that time, folks. It's Uncensored Radio's UCR Live. We are here for another week. Dynamic duo today. Dynamic duo. We can do it. We got this, Vera.
We can do it.
We can do it. We put our back into it.
Is that what it's called?
Etc. Well, I don't want to do too much work. I don't want to do too much work.
Well, most of it's just us chatting.
Yeah, really. That's the kind of work we prefer, right?
Right.
Right. Well, how's your week been, considering it's just you and I?
I had to get my car inspected because it's a thing we do here that you have to have an inspection to make sure your car is running and roadworthy. And it was due September 30th. So I ran out of September and had to go get it done today. That was fun. I had to walk to work. Oh my God, I almost died. But other than that, my week's not bad. We hit our big all-staff meeting.
Oh.
So I said all staff that they're moving my office.
Oh, she's a busy girl. Look at you. There's stuff going on.
I don't care. Just tell me where to go.
Don't say that too loud because someone might tell you where to go.
They tell me where to go all the time.
They tell me where to go all the time. It's nothing wrong with that. We enjoy it.
And how was your week? You're in a new locale with a new background.
Funny you should mention, yes, I have been everywhere, but I have, over last weekend, caught up with the wonderful Miss Katrina A. Johnson because she was in Sydney, Australia.
Oh, how freaking exciting!
I know. So I spent the day.
Did you play or did you tape?
We just kind of did tourism. I given her a box of Australian goodies to take home, and she is going to film her reactions. She's ready to do
Tim Tams.
Yeah, she's got all the good stuff. So she's
salt.
Yeah, we've got. So what did we do? We did the really Australian thing. I met Kat at about 10 a.m. and the first thing we did was go to the oldest pub in Sydney, down at the Rocks, and have a beer at 10:30 in the morning. So we kicked things off in great style, and ended up going down to the Opera House, getting some photos with the bridge, got on the hop-on hop-off bus, and then we got a phone call from one of Kat's workmates, and we ended up in Chanel.
I don't know where Chanel is. Oh, Chanel the store?
Yeah, Chanel the store.
Oh.
Chanel the store. And I was, this is the other half. Wow. It was some fanciness.
I went to a Chanel shop in Toronto and I just walked out. It's like there is nothing in here for me.
This is, we went to the proper Chanel with like the people on the door.
Oh.
let you in, Chanel. That's where we were. It was a very good day, very eye-opening day watching shopping happening. It's like, okay, cool. We ended up having some more drinks, and then we ended up having some dinner, and I just want to show you the location of where we ended up eating our little dinner. Here we go. Let's have a look.
Whoa. Y'all ready for this plane? Still. It's almost summer there, right? You were warm. You weren't cold.
We got very lucky. It was a really nice night, nice day, nice night. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold.
Yeah.
So Kat and I had a little bit of a seafood dinner together. It was lovely. Was
it the same workmate that we met in New York, or a different workmate?
Different one.
Okay.
Yes, related to work, different work. Well, same, more related to the client, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
All
without
right.
saying, without saying too much.
Saying it
It's,
without saying it.
I tell you off air, it'll be
All
okay.
right.
But yeah, we managed to spend pretty much the whole day together, and got to about 9:30. And she's like, I gotta go to bed because she had to be on the plane at 3 a.m. Oh,
Oh my God.
leaving at 3 a.m. So I was like, you get to go back to bed. Good night.
Did she sleep at all, or was she? Oh, you're frozen. Or
She ended up. Yeah.
oh,
Oh,
there.
I'm back. Yeah,
Okay.
we're having some technical difficulties with the internet, but that's okay. We're
Oh
gonna keep going.
dear. Okay.
we yeah, we ended up parting ways, and she sent me a message in the morning, and then next I got a message for her. She was in Tahiti, so as you do, the life of Katrina A.
Oh, the
Johnson,
life
I
of
tell you.
Katrina. Yes.
Uh, I know. So
And
expect some Katrina content coming your way, folks, when she tries our snacks.
what are Anne and Renata doing exciting that
I'll
you're
be
at their
interested to
house
see.
or at Anne's house?
Sorry?
What are Anne and Renata doing? I mean, an investigation? Is that where they are?
No, so Anne and Renata have been in bonny old Ireland, and
I knew that. I saw that from
they were
the
flying
Facebook
back
page.
for Ireland to go to a paranormal convention in Adelaide, but one of their return flights got delayed, so they got straight off the flight from Brussels, I think it was,
Uh
to get on a flight to Adelaide to fly to Adelaide. So they, I think they've been like
huh.
flying for 37 hours or something crazy.
Wow.
Always the way. It was nice
Oh,
if if you joined us on Tuesday. We did a bit of a introduction to spooky season from this time last year when we were all
yep.
together, and it was good to
It
rewatch
was a
it.
great night. Yeah.
I totally forgot about half of the stuff that happened. It was such a good time, and then there was even more that happened off screen after the show, which
Yes.
was yeah. I think it made a true believer out of a couple of people. It was like, oh wow.
I had a paranormal fight with my mother.
Yeah. Look, bitches never rest, do they? They never rest. But we never rest either. We're gonna
No,
kick
that's
into
true.
it.
All
Speaking of
right.
Miss Katrina, let's talk about this
Hot
week's
load of hot topics.
So let's talk about. I didn't do an article because it's been all over the news. Vera, since you're our political analyst slash expert, what does a government shutdown mean for Australians?
Is Australia shutting down?
No, just for
Oh,
your
oh,
country.
for our government?
Yeah.
It means that no federal checks are being printed. So people who are dependent on Social Security will not be getting checks. It means that no federal employees will be paid. So all federal employees are essentially working without pay. It means that nothing's getting done. But Trump is still spending money, even though nobody's making any money.
So, is it true? Is what he's saying true? Can they make decisions regarding the country when there is technically they're not at work? Because he's saying we can make big decisions, huge decisions.
I'm sure he is using this time to do that.
But
Government shutdowns are very, very rare. There's not a lot of rules about governing them because and the last three have happened in the last two Trump administrations. You know, they're very, very rare, but he's had three. So that I don't think
so,
that he can make rules, but he's been making rules that he's not allowed, legally not allowed to make, and people have been following them since the inauguration day and
but
January 20th.
you can't pass legislature surely
He
without.
can't pass legislature, but he's only ever passed in his 2 terms in office. He's only ever passed two pieces of legislature, and both of them were budget bills. Everything else that he has done in office has been executive order. which do not outlive his presidency. Once he is out of office, everything that he's done can be undone. But unfortunately,
it's just the ramifications of which will be felt for generations to come.
Well, it is going to take years and billions of dollars to undo the stuff that he's already done. You know, just the reallocating of already allocated funds. It's stripped some programs, some government functions bare, and started funding a whole bunch of illegal government functions that, you know, what are we going to do? It's our first dictator. We're all a little shocked here. We're not really sure what to do.
So for example, when our parliament goes on break or something, they get stood down or something like that, they are still getting paid, regardless if they're doing their job.
Yes. All of the congressmen are still getting checks.
Yes.
All of their health care is still protected.
Right.
But the rank and file U.S. citizens are losing health care. At least 20 million Americans will be losing health care. And that's part of why they're shutting this down, because the Democrats are refusing to go along with this cut to health care and Obamacare and the American Affordable Care Act. So they're blaming it on the Democrats, but they have the majority of Congress, the majority of the Senate, the executive branch, and the judicial branch, and they're blaming it on the Democrats, who are in the minority in every single branch of government.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. So how long can your country operate, do you think, without?
Well, I mean,
there's all these
VA hospitals are going to go bankrupt within weeks. You know, there's no spending bill to cover these people until this government shutdown ends. He could be running the whole fucking train off the cliff. You know, VA hospitals are going to go bankrupt. Many hospitals are going to go bankrupt. All government services are shut down. That's the FAA, you know, and these people are mandatory workers, so they have to report to work with or without a paycheck. So essentially there's hundreds of thousands of Americans working for free, you know?
Yeah. And this is like welfare, people not getting welfare and stuff as well, right?
People aren't, welfare programs tend to be state by state. So depending on your state, if you are in a more affluent state, which I happen to be, then there won't be complete shutdown of public welfare programs. There will be a shutdown of the federal part of public welfare programs, like essentially in New York State, where I live, like a food stamp or food support or living financial support programs are funded 1/3 by the federal government, 1/3 or 2/3 by the state. So people in New York State will continue to get 2/3 of their benefits under the assistance programs, all from the New York State. But people in red states who don't have the income tax base that New York has are dependent 100% on the federal government for their benefits. So these people aren't going to be getting food assistance. They aren't going to get income assistance. They aren't going to get housing assistance. You know, it has the potential to be a big fucking disaster.
That's scary.
Oh, yes.
That's very
dystopian
scary.
hell, you know?
Well, what's a little dystopia between friends?
You know?
Between friends.
Every day it's like, do I flee to Canada? Do I stay and fight for the country I love? Do I flee to Canada? Do I stay and fight for the country I love?
At least you're nice and close to the border.
Thanks. Yeah.
You know, you can leave early, quickly. It's all good. So we're going to talk about probably the biggest celebrity news of the week. Bit out of nowhere, the divorce. Well, first the separation, our divorce of Nicole Kidman and Keith
But this went down really fast. I don't know if the Aussies knew about it before us, but I didn't have any idea that they'd separated.
Well, TMZ broke it first, saying that there was separation, and then literally 24 hours later, she filed for divorce.
Right. But according to the article that I read, the separation has been in place since May. They've been, but they live apart all the time.
Well, yeah, he's a touring musician, so
yeah, and she's a working actress.
Yeah,
yeah.
The highest. I didn't realize she was the highest paid working actress.
Yeah, I didn't either.
You make that money.
Yeah.
But been apart for several months. She is taking custody of their two children. With
they're almost.
They're old,
now.
14 and 16. I think they are.
They're teenagers.
Yeah. So the most interesting thing that I think I've gleaned from this, did you hear about the cocaine clause in the contract?
No.
So in the prenuptial agreement, it was revealed that for every year of marriage that Keith stayed clean and sober to Nicole, he gets $2.6 million.
I knew that he had a drug problem. I knew that his drug use had caused problems in their relationship, but I didn't realize there was a cocaine clause.
Isn't that bizarre?
$2.6 million.
Yeah,
how much more is she worth than him? I mean, it's got to be a lot.
She's worth $250 million apparently.
Yeah.
She earned 32 last year as well. So
yeah.
but he's worth like 62
70?
or something like that. Yeah, 62,
70.
Yeah, something like that. But imagine going into a relationship going, well, I'm going to bribe you to stay clean
sober.
in case we get a divorce. Like, I get prenups, but are you setting yourself up for failure there? Like, I know that you have a problem.
How much is he going to get from that cocaine clause? Is he going to get anything?
Yeah, no, apparently he's getting a fair amount. They were together for 19 years, Vera.
They were together for 19 years, but his sobriety has been in question, a lot of them.
Yeah, I think that will be the hotly contested issue in part of the. I don't think this will be a nice, clean divorce either. I think this one's quite.
It has
because apparently he's already been spotted with another woman in the last couple of months.
I kind of figured that for the world's most loving couple to split so precipitously, somebody stepped out.
Yeah. She just doesn't see it. I think her and Jennifer Lopez should get together. They just don't have I guess, they did stay married for 19 years.
19 years. That's a good run. That really is a good run, especially in a
in Hollywood couple. They were saying that's one of the longest, or probably the longest modern day Hollywood marriage. As that's it's nothing to sniff at, but still, it just I think this one's going to get nasty. I just have a feeling.
I would bet, though, that Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson have been together longer.
Yeah, but they're not. They're old school now. They've been together. Jesus, more shorts, Vera. They're not new. This is within the Gen Z lifetime. Nicole and Keith married and divorced. They're like 19 years. They're very modern and down with it. They know what's happening. Big news. There was finally a announcement after much hullabaloo about who would perform at the Super Bowl. We had rumors of Adele. Taylor Swift said poo-poo to the Super Bowl because they wouldn't give her the rights to the footage. So apparently the Super Bowl's claim was that
the NFL is very adamant that they own that footage.
But it's like, this is a great promotional spot for artists. I'm like, I don't think she needs your help.
Just quietly. It's a great promotional spot for artists, but it really isn't that. I can't think of. I mean, Janet Jackson, it ruined her career.
Yes, well.
But
I think pulling that card on the biggest artists on the planet is not going to work out well for you.
Kendrick Lamar, I don't think it helped him. He was already an international celebrity. Paul McCartney, did he need any help? Bono, U2, did they need help?
But the successor to the crown for next year?
Yes.
Bad Bunny.
I'm excited.
Bad Bunny for Super Bowl, whatever. What the?
I think
7,986 million?
Super Bowl 60, I believe.
There you go. So, of course, an interesting choice given the current climate in the country.
I suspect that that's why the choice was made.
Bad Bunny famously said that he would not tour the US at the moment because he was concerned for the safety of his fans.
Yeah.
Not
I agree. US. I understand completely. I applaud his decision.
What does taking this spot mean for that stance?
Well, his stance was that he is not going to perform in the U.S. because the Supreme Court, the extremely partisan Supreme Court, has given ICE carte blanche to racially profile Latinos. It's okay for them to stop and detain people of Hispanic descent, right? Without any prior knowledge or proof of crime. They got that carte blanche writ.
Yeah.
But so who is going to show up at Bad Bunny concerts? People of Hispanic descent. He does not want to allow ICE to come set up sting operations outside his concert and arrest people of Latino, Hispanic descent. So I applaud that decision. It probably cost him millions to make that decision not to tour in the U.S. But at the Super Bowl, it's a multi-racial audience. The people at the Super Bowl are going to be of all ethnicities. It's going to be a polyglot lot, and it's not going to be anywhere that ICE is going to be able to get. There will be perimeters around the Super Bowl to prevent people from gate crashing. It will be high security. Everybody in that house will be ticketed. It will be a global audience because, even though most people don't like American football, they do watch the Super Bowl halftime show.
It is very rude to put a football game either side of that concert.
Well, I happen to enjoy the football game and the concert.
Run, stop. Run, stop. Run, stop. Ad break.
Isn't that every freaking
run, stop. Run,
every
stop.
Freaking sport?
No, I don't think Katrina was like, we watched some Australian football. I was like, yeah, that's real football. I'm not a footballer. We ain't got no pads here, Vera.
Oh, yes, you do. I've watched a lot of.
We don't have helmets.
You don't have helmets, but you have a lot of ads.
No, like padding. I said padding.
I thought you said ads.
Yeah. we got ads, but they just throw their full body at it. It's like, yes.
Yeah, well,
who needs a
but they're big pussies compared to the rugby stars.
Yeah, rugby league's the way to go.
Rugby is rough.
So the biggest criticism, obviously, of that is out there, must have been AFL, is, well, of a certain aspect of the internet, is that he is a non-English speaking artist.
Yes, there's been a ton of racism against him. And let's just go through the list of non-US citizens who have headlined the Super Bowl. Well, let's just take a moment.
No one had a problem with.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. So Rihanna, Shakira, Paul McCartney,
not a citizen.
The Rolling Stones,
not American.
U2.
Yep.
Shania Twain.
Not
Sting,
American. Yep. Well,
Coldplay,
Springsteen, yes.
Phil Collins, and The Weeknd. So 10 at least that are not US citizens that have performed at the halftime of America's favorite
let's not
that no one had a problem with.
Any freaking second pretend that this is anything other than fucking racism. You know, because the majority of Bad Bunny's music is performed in Spanish.
Yeah.
You know, and the racist tension in my country is on the highest boiling point ever in my entire lifetime. So that's, I mean, it's hate. It's just, and you know, the problem with this is that it's a very vocal minority. You know, they shout and scream the loudest, but the majority of people are really happy with the thought of watching Bad Bunny. You know, I mean, he's that popular for a reason, and most of the country does not speak Spanish. You know.
Yeah, it's not like he's just all of a sudden going to
dancing around the living room during the halftime concert.
All of his back catalogue in full English just to placate the Super Bowl fans.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not the Super Bowl fans. I guarantee you. I would say that this very vocal minority. I mean, there are Republicans in this country, and they constitute about a third of the electorate. You know, but I would not say that all of those Republicans are racist. I would say that the very thinnest of minorities are the racists. It's you know, it's 30% are Republicans, but 10% of that 30% are the vocal racists who are storming school board meetings to bitch about teachers of color, who are flooding the internet with hate about Bad Bunny. You know, it's such a tiny minority, but they are so virulent and vocal that it empowers other racists to come out of the closet.
Yeah. And yeah, it's always those loud voices that we've got to worry about.
Yeah.
Seem to stir it up. Speaking of stirring up craziness, I don't know if you saw this, but Kanye is back on the game.
Kanye looks like hell. Look at that picture. He looks like he needs dental work. What the hell?
I think it's a grill.
No, the right side of his face, from his ear to his nose, is puffier than the other side. It's like there's a infection in that mouth or that sinus. You know, that one side of his face is significantly puffier than the other. I wasn't talking about the upper denture plate. I was talking about the cheek.
But he's released another list.
Oh, I know.
List. It was now deleted. It was posted on X, formerly Twitter, with the caption, "I am in pain. No person that no one person can fix." And the list reads "The Betrayal," and it's a very interesting list of. Have you seen the list?
I did see the list. I actually read it on our page.
I'll go through the characters. Of course, Kim Kardashian at the top.
Yeah, you knew she was going to be on that list. When you read the headline, you knew she was on the list.
I Show Speed, Diddy, Ty Dolla $ign, Northwest, his own daughter, Pusha, Freddie Gibson, Kid Cudi, Donald Trump, Pete Davidson, Patrick Starr, LeBron James, King Von, Playboy Cardi, James Murray. Now, there are a couple of very interesting people that I would like to point out too. He has beef with Harriet Tubman.
I know. She's only been gone for 100+ years. What'd she do to him?
I don't know what she's done. I don't know what she's done. The other one that I think is quite interesting is he also has beef with Curious George.
Oh, well.
The historical figures and cartoon characters. We have each issue. And the last name on the list, simply Adolf.
Again, he's been dead for a bit.
So I don't know.
How
don't
did he
know.
betray him?
Yeah, mental health crisis.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But he could be triggered by a dental infection.
Yeah, I don't know what these people have done to upset poor Kanye, but obviously
I'm sure that
something,
Harriet Tubman is wholly sorry.
because she's she's not happy. She's not happy. But the list was deleted, and wait to see what his next list is.
I feel so sorry for this man. Somebody needs to medicate him. He is not well. It's clear all the time. He acts out. There was a whole ton of people ready to put Britney in conservatorship. Why is nobody putting Kanye in conservatorship? He is unwell.
I don't know that he has anyone that. Well, he's releasing this documentary too, and the footage that has been shown was all about him confronting Kris Jenner about X, Y, and Z, and everyone's like, "Yeah, stand up to him." It's like, but is she not trying to act like they were for a time trying to act in his best interest, because he was not?
I wouldn't be willing to bet that it was very recently that they stopped. Kim is going to protect her children,
right?
His children.
Well, now, but now Northwest is his own daughter's on the list. I don't know how you can be betrayed by your 13-year-old child, but
13-year-old children can be assholes. She might have looked him in the eye and said, "Fuck you, Dad."
I don't think he's in that in touch with reality that much, really.
Well, I mean, I can see a teenage kid going off on their parent.
Oh yeah, I did. I think we all did.
But I think especially if your parent is dysfunctional, there's gonna be some friction.
Right. Friction everywhere. So stay tuned for more Kanye.
I think it's very sad. I really do.
It is super. It's super sad. Anything that's there's still allegations about what's going on with Britney. That stuff is not great either. But what can you do when these people, even though she's out of that conservatorship, there's still people making money off her likeness and her name with the perfume, that kind of stuff. Same with Kanye. Like, there are people still making money off him, and they're so surrounded by yes men and dollar signs that there's not really anyone in their corner for well-being.
Yeah.
Regardless of the money that makes, which is quite sad. Now, this was a concerning story. I was like, it would be a sign of the end times, but she assures us everything's fine. Dolly Parton had to cancel her Vegas dates due to health concerns. If Dolly goes down, I don't think the world's ready for it.
I know. Right?
So this is her official statement. As many of you know, I've been dealing with some health challenges, and my doctors tell me that I must have a few procedures, the country music legend wrote on her social media. As I joked with them, it must be time for my 100,000-mile checkup, although it's not the usual trip to see my plastic surgeon. Parton said she was postponing the shows because she was not going to be able to rehearse and put together the show that she wanted you to see. You pay good money to see me perform, and I want you to see me at my best. Don't worry about me quitting the business, because God hasn't said anything about stopping yet. But I believe he is telling me to slow down right now so I can be ready for more big adventures with y'all.
And she's probably still grieving. I mean,
we've got to remember she's gone through a lot in the last...
this has been a rough year for Dolly.
It's been intense, and she is not getting younger. It's a hard life. This, as much as people go, oh, being a celebrity, being a musician, it would be X, Y, and Z. The reality of the situation when it comes to rehearsal and writing and all the business, she's got Dollywood. She's got all the philanthropic stuff she does. It's not like she's just sitting at home doing nothing.
Right.
And she's in control of I would say, billion-dollar empire because she got some money. Dolly's got some money.
She actually would be worth more than Taylor Swift, but she donates so much of her money to charity.
And I think that's where Taylor will end. Taylor will be Dolly, you know.
Yes, I do too.
That's what's going to happen. But thoughts and prayers with Dolly, because, you know, the world isn't ready for that yet.
Real thoughts and prayers.
It's real thoughts. And I keep looking at this Dick Van Dyke keeps coming up. I'm like, don't you tap out yet, Dick.
Well,
you're nearly 100.
I was channel surfing this weekend trying to avoid the news because it's always so grim. And I caught the end of The Sound of Music on Turner Classic Movies. And right after that, they went into Victor Victoria. And I thought, oh, holy fuck. Did she die?
No!
Is she gone? I had to Google it, make sure that Julie Andrews was still with us.
Yeah, I know, right? We're going to check on these
two movies in a row. Oh, no.
We're to check on these elder states people and make sure they're okay, because we can't lose them. One person we did lose recently was Terence Stamp. But
yes,
there is some good news.
I know, this is kind of exciting.
Terence Stamp had already filmed scenes with Stephen Elliott for the sequel to Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. That's a picture of
great.
It's amazing. So Stephen Elliott did a quite lengthy interview and said that originally Terence was hesitant about it, but Stephen came to him with a story that hooked him in. And the direct quote is, Terence was indignant that he didn't want a digital clone of himself playing Bernadette. He wanted the chance to put the character down himself. And I will quote him on this case. He said, just in case I don't make the start line. He was 87, turning 88. And I put him through a multi-cam shoot spread over several grueling sessions. All I can say is the old trooper gave it everything he had. He hated putting the wig on again, but at the same time, my God, you could have bottled that smile. I mean, it was brilliant and fun, and he really did have the time of his life. But calling "that's a wrap" on Terence Stamp are going to be words that will haunt me till the day I die.
Oh,
that's hard.
Yeah.
At the end of the interview, he said now he didn't want a funeral, and there's been a lot of talk recently about funerals. He didn't want a funeral. He wanted a final curtain. So we did everything in our power to make it happen, and by God, we're giving it to him. Isn't that beautiful?
That is beautiful. I'm very touched.
For such an iconic Australian movie, one of the movies that I think really launched Australian cinema to and have it be recognized on a global scale. Internationally. And a character and represent for it to be a movie about queer people, and not just gay people and not just drag queens, but trans people, like all that gender identity in the 90s. Let's remind ourselves. It was a trail, like I think we get a bit blasé about the impact of stuff like that now that it's a musical and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But it was a trailblazing film, and Stephen Elliott says the sequel isn't retreading old ground, it's plunging forward with new stories. And,
I had a feeling that it would have to be to get Terence back into it.
That's what he was saying. It's about aging. It's about aging in this modern day society where, especially these characters have gone from the incidents in the story. We had hate crimes, we had hate speech, all that kind of stuff, to see where they are today. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. The other casts are all ready to go. The filming has been halted because of Terence's death. And Stephen Elliott says just needs some time to process and move forward, but they will go ahead when they're ready. Everyone's got it penciled in. So Priscilla 2 is happening, and we will get Bernadette to say a final farewell. Because it's always sad when these franchise movies lose a star.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't get that last goodbye. At least with, or even the TV show, I look at the latest Twin Peaks, the lady that played the log lady, she was dying of terminal cancer when she filmed. And they're like, "Oh, we can come to you," and she's like, "No, I want to do this. I want to." It was her last hurrah. Like, she made it happen.
Yep. Look at Black Panther.
Yep, Chadwick Boseman.
You know, that franchise moving on without him was hard.
Rough. Yeah, it's always rough. It's always very rough. But there's something I think really nice too about getting those moments of farewell and being able to say a goodbye, not only to the character but to the actor in a really artistic way. And Bernadette was a big in that movie. She's a big iconic character. She gets some great lines, but that representation meant a lot and still does, I think, to a lot of people. So it was R.I.P. Terrence. But I'm so glad that got its little
absolutely
swan song of awesomeness, because Bernadette's an icon. Now, do you know who Noah Glenn Carter is?
I recognize the face from the article, but I don't know where I've seen him outside of the article.
I think this might not be our wheelhouse. We might be a little bit showing our vintages here, but he has been dubbed the most recognizable face on the internet by Yahoo. I didn't even know Yahoo was still around, but okay, that's all right.
I did.
So
I'm one of the last living dinosaurs with a Yahoo email address.
My mother has a Yahoo email address as well. So Carter is an influencer with 9.6 million followers on TikTok and a further 312,000 followers on Instagram. He usually does reactionary pop culture videos, but his Christian faith factors heavily into his videos, which is where the rub has come this week, pun intended, as he has made, I don't know if it's, we'll call it statements on some leaked pictures of himself. So this was the initial statement. A picture of me has been posted to Twitter. So there's this photo of me that I was made aware of that has been posted to Twitter of me, doing what people do. I have absolutely no idea how to get it taken down. So the picture is just up there for anyone to see. Okay. He shed light on the leak to urge people to be careful with the intimate pictures. Fair enough, Right. But a day later, Carter claimed that it was a doctored image and not actually him. Turns out it's my face on someone else's body, he claimed. Even though it's not me, I still need help with Twitter to get the picture taken down. And then followed it with an apology. He says, I have taken pictures like that of myself in the past, and I'm sorry.
Chill out, kiddo.
Right? But doesn't it just reek of that kind of double-sided
hypocrisy?
Thank you. I was going to say hypocrisy. I didn't know if it was too strong a word. But...
No, but here in the States, we've had a similar scandal brewing that's kind of not being talked about because, our media is censored. But there is a person who says he has the goods from Grindr on Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson.
Yes.
And
IP addresses, everything.
Yeah, and his life is in jeopardy.
But these are I just
talk about your hypocrisy. That's how that came to my mind.
But this is my confusion, because first of all, if you've been made aware of this picture of you, the first thing you would do is go, is it me?
Right.
Before you click that picture and go, yes, it's me. Haha, funny. Right.
That's the tried and true excuse now, is that it's been doctored. That's not me.
But I refuse to believe somebody that has 9.6 million followers on TikTok doesn't know their
Mhm.
digital footprint.
Well, I find that part of the hypocrisy is that he does know it's him and he's trying to get out of it.
And now
You
that
know?
it's exposed,
And that's
and
kind of, I think,
I'm so sorry. It's like, what, for being a young man
right.
and, acting how young men act. Like, just be, the whole, it's just a bit icky, religy. Like, I'm
Well,
sorry I got caught. Is what it is. I'm sorry I got caught, basically.
well, how many times, and I don't know if this has made anybody's radar except mine, have you heard of conservative religious conventions being held in a certain location and Grinder crashing in that location because of the number of conservative Christian people
Yes.
trying to get on Grinder while they're out of town and away from their families?
Yep.
It's that same hypocrisy.
Same energy.
Yeah,
Same
it's like, yeah, I might have done it, but I didn't mean to do it. But I didn't do it at somebody else's head. It's all the same regurgitated.
And then if it's not you, then why are you apologizing?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I was like, and in this day and age, especially somebody of that vintage, you would expect that they would have some kind of photo like that of themselves.
Right. Oh, yes.
It's just the way of the world this day and age.
Yes.
And yeah.
God love you,
God, yeah. At least do it while you're young and hot.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants to see it.
Can't do it at my age.
Nobody wants to see it past middle age. It's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
that's going to be on OnlyFans.
Yeah, it's like Nora. It's like not Nora, on Schitt's Creek, when she's like, "Take 100 photos of yourself naked." It's like, why not? When you're young and hot,
when you're young and pretty,
then you've always got the memories.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I have something for you, Vera. I've got a view from here this week. Now, this one, as usual, comes from Am I the Asshole? And Reddit. The title is, Am I the asshole for calling out my friend in front of others for saying, you can't be fat and picky? My friend, let's call her N, lives for drama and gossip. N always has something blunt or nasty to say, and honestly, at first it was fun, but now it's become draining. The constant drama she brings is frustrating. Today's drama was talking about one of our friend's sisters. Let's call her S. We were all married in our mid-20s in the friend group. S, nearing 30 years old, is not. I don't see the problem with it. She's living her life and she always has a good time. S wasn't there, but her sister just mentioned that S broke up with her boyfriend because he raised too many red flags. Me and a few others said good for her, while N tisked. We turned to N, who loudly exclaimed, she's not getting any younger, she needs to stop being so picky. The sister did agree, but she seemed a little skeptical of N's words. N continued to say that S cannot be fat and picky. Everyone went silent, while N kept talking. Now, N is a bigger lady, by the way. She was the youngest married out of all of us at 20. Her husband is obsessed with her. She doesn't work or do anything around the house and has no kids. He literally cooks, cleans, and pays for everything. All she does is make fun of him all the time. I couldn't help it. I spoke up and told her she cannot be talking. N instantly glared at me and said, what the fuck does that mean? I said, you got married to a guy who's obsessed with you, and you're not skinny. Mm-hmm. Who are you to say that she should settle? My friends, to their credit, did not agree or disagree, but N had a whole meltdown about how I called her fat and that her relationship is quote-unquote different. I just left the party after that because I couldn't stand being around her anymore. She has since blocked me on all platforms, and a few friends say that she brings me up anytime she possibly can. I just don't care. I'm tired of her. My husband said I could have been nicer. Am I the asshole?
No. And can suck fucking eggs.
Sounds like she does too.
Oh my God. Fuck people. What is it?
Right.
What is it? Why is it her business? Why does she have a right to comment on what anybody does in their personal life?
Right.
You know, you can choose to be single. You don't have to stay in a relationship because you're fat. You know?
100%.
Fuck that noise.
And especially for someone that is not, you know.
I don't care who it is.
She talks outside of her mouth as well.
It could be Dolly Parton. If Dolly Parton were saying to me, I couldn't be fat and picky, I'd punch that bitch in the face.
Oh dear, Dolly.
Come on. Fuck you. I know what's right for me. I know what's wrong for me. If I'm not in a happy relationship, I'm not staying there.
No, and
you know,
there are also more important things than being in a relationship.
Yeah.
There are definitely more important things than just being skinny.
Yeah.
Because a lot of skinny people aren't happy people.
There's a whole lot of single people who have lots of uglier traits than body fat.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Like being a twat. Way uglier than being fat.
Exactly. I just think that some people want to say things for shock value. But as we always say on this show, your ugly slips out, but you've got to own your words too. Words have power. Yeah. If you're willing to throw that around, you've got to be willing to have it thrown back at you, especially when you're not, you know, Linda Evangelista chilling out over there.
Most of the people, in my experience, who are tearing down other people like that are doing it because of their low self-esteem. Yeah. You know, she needs to look inwardly and figure out why she hates herself before she starts throwing hate at other people.
And there's always a difference between a lot of people go, well, I'm just real. I'm just real. I'm the person to. There's a difference because
I'm not a bitch. I'm brutally honest. Yeah. No, you're a fucking bitch.
Be brutally honest without hurting people's feelings. I think that Jeff and I have very much have that kind of relationship where if he asks my advice, I'm like, are you sure you really want it? Because I'll tell you, and that's the way we roll, you know.
Yeah.
I'm never going to say something to purposely hurt somebody or purposely degrade them because I don't agree with their choices. If you want my opinion, I'm going to give my opinion.
I have kept my own counsel for years on friends' relationships. You know, it's like, I don't have to like the person you're with. If you like the person you're with, that's your choice, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm not going to compromise my values to be with somebody. It don't have to be with somebody because you know what? I'd rather be alone than in bad company.
Preach, sister. Preach.
You know?
So I think we all know who the asshole is in that story.
Yes. It's Anne.
Yes.
Get some therapy, Anne.
While she's feisty, we should probably get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, is that time already? It's time to veer a bit. Okay, here we go. V3, 2, 1, Vince.
Gonna start off with my biggest beef of the week. And believe it or not, it's about golf. The Ryder Cup is an exhibition-friendly tournament that happens every other year. It used to be between the United States and Great Britain, but in 1979, the Great Britain decided to expand it to include all European golfers. So now it's the United States against a European team. It's played every other year. They switch venues. This year was played in the United States. 2 years from now will be played in Ireland. It's been played all over Europe and the United States. It's considered an exhibition game. It's just for bragging rights. It's often a little bit rowdy. But this last tournament in New York State, in Bethpage Black, here in New York State on Long Island, was beyond rowdy. It was downright shameful. The European team, specifically Rory McIlroy, were heckled mercilessly. There was a comedian who was hired to whip the crowd up to be a cheerleader. Her name was Heather McMahon. She thought that she was coming into this as a color commentator, that she would be doing interviews at the first tee with both team and talking people through it. Turns out she was meant to do crowd work. So she started her gig cheering for the American players, specifically Son DeChamp. And she got not DeChamp, DeChambeau. She got the crowd chanting DeChambeau, DeChambeau, DeChambeau. And they would not stop. And they were chanting through tee times, which in golf is a no-no, even in an exhibition match, a friendly tournament. And Rory McIlroy said, stop it, knock it off, we're teeing, you can't be this rude. So according to McMahon, she said, as a question, fuck you, Rory. The crowd started to repeatedly fuck you, Rory, and it proceeded for the entire 3-day tournament. It got to the point where they were not just heckling Rory, they were heckling his wife, who was there with their child. And at one point, somebody in that crowd threw a drink at Rory's wife. This is uncivilized hooligan thuggery. And you cannot tell me that Bethpage Black did not have the staff to throw those fans out of that tournament. Come on, we can do better than this. This is appalling. It's a disgrace. Who the hell are we these days in this country? How did we let this go by? It's one thing to heckle the golfers. It's another thing to torture the golfers. But it's beyond the pale to torture this wife and throw things at her. I think every single one of those frat boys that pulled this off in Bethpage Black needs to be fined and arrested for harassment. It is beyond a disgrace how we could let this go down. And the PGA, the American president of the PGA, was defending the thuggish frat boys. How did we get to this point? This was the sport of kings, You're supposed to be quiet. I remember as a kid that even the announcers wouldn't talk through the tee time. And they're screaming, fuck you, Rory, on tee times? Disgraceful. But that being said, I'm going to focus on some good news. I want to talk about some things that happened recently that are really kind of cool. In Boston, they have successfully converted old office space into affordable housing, and people are moving into the city. In Switzerland, they successfully flew a solar-powered plane over the Alps. It's the highest altitude that any solar plane has gotten. The first baby bison has been born in an effort to repopulate the bison in the American plains. California has rolled out solar-powered shading over the canal system. And a company has found a way to mine minerals from the soil by using daisies. They are planting the daisies in mineral-rich soil and then harvesting the metals from the daisies. That's pretty cool. That's a low-impact kind of thing. And on that note, we lost Jane Goodall this week, and one of her very good quotes is what I'd like to leave you with tonight. There is still so much in the world worth fighting for. So much that is beautiful, so many wonderful people working to reverse harm and help alleviate suffering, and so many young people dedicated to making this a better world, all conspiring to give us hope that it's not too late to turn things around if we all do our part. R.I.P. Jane Goodall.
Yeah. Monkeys. Shit, right? Evolution. All the good stuff. We may question evolution with this week. What the? Vera, it's
question evolution after the Ryder Cup.
It's safe to say that you've seen some stuff through your medical career, correct?
Correct.
So this one might be even a good one for you. It might be a shocker. According to the International Journal of Surgery case reports, doctors in Brazil were stunned after discovering a 2 kilo, that's 4.4 pound, dumbbell lodged in a 54-year-old man's rectum.
Rectum? Damn near killed him.
Yeah. Holy shit. The patient endured 2 days of stomach pains, nausea, and constipation before seeking help. X-rays revealed the weight stuck where the colon meets the rectum, and the surgeons were forced to perform a manual abstraction to remove it. How do you come back from that?
You would not believe the shit that surgeons pull out of people's bodies. I would say that the most horrifying story I ever heard was a light bulb.
Yeah, light bulbs. I've heard a lot of. There's been some, but a 4-pound dumbbell. That's some commitment.
That's some commitment, and yes, that was gonna block shit up, literally.
Quite literally. Quite literally. So
the possibility of a light bulb breaking,
yeah,
the impossible damage, there would be no repairing that. That would be permanent. I mean, they were able to perform a manual extraction. They did not have to go in there and do fine surgery to prevent any breakage of that. I mean, as bad decisions go, this is a lesser bad decision than a light bulb.
I still think it's not the greatest decision in the world, just quietly.
It's a bad decision,
Bad decision, regardless.
There is I think he's a nurse practitioner, but he's made a TikTok career out of things that you should not put.
The EMT guy does it as well, and always around Christmas when those shard
Christmas
come out,
trees. Nope.
Make sure it has a flared base. A flared base, people. Always say it has to have a flared base. People be doing stupid shit quite literally.
Yeah.
But to end our day today, unexpected news, but kind of heartwarming news. 20 years after the original, The Simpsons are heading back to cinemas. 30-something seasons later, they still think there's another movie in it. So,
well, there's a whole bunch of shit that needs to be explained.
Let's see where we're at, because The Simpsons has be anyway.
Come out, Meg Groening. Predict our future.
Yeah, by 2027, between them and South Park, we don't know what's going to happen, but we will be here to keep holding the light up against.
Absolutely.
Just not too close to the dumbbell guy, because that's not good. Thank you for joining me today, Vera. I have been Steve. This has been UCR Live. Join us during the week where we're going to hit some horror head on, because it's Halloween spooky season, folks.
I know, and I'm missing Hocus Pocus right now. It's on air.
Oh my God, when will you have time to watch it? It's on Disney Plus. You'll be fine. Okay, bye, y'all.
Mock me for watching.
I'm never going to mock you
regular
for
TV.
watching Hocus Pocus. Who cares?
Hocus Pocus.
Oh, it
Book.
makes me sick. No.